The truth about firstborn daughters, God's silent warriors. Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to say may explain years of your life that you never understood. You were not born first by chance. You were chosen first on purpose. When God allows a daughter to be born first, He is not just forming a family. He is establishing a leader, a first defender, a silent watchman, a carrier of emotional, spiritual, and practical strength, before she even knows she is carrying it. Before anyone ever put pressure on you, He placed purpose in you. Before anyone expected maturity from you, He designed resilience in you. Before you were even old enough to spell responsibility, you were already wearing it. You probably didn't ask for it. You probably didn't understand it. You might have even resented it at times, because being born first often feels like being born with invisible armor. No one explains, no one removes, and no one rewards. People may never admit it, but they rely on you. They draw from your strength, your voice, your reasoning, your calm, your sacrifice. They assume you'll be okay, because you've always had to be. They forget you're human, because you've been forced to function like a protector. But here is the truth. God wants you to finally realize your strength is not a personality trait. It is a calling. Your burden is not a coincidence. It is a mantle. Your responsibility is not punishment. It is preparation. God did not choose you to be first, so you could be perfect. He chose you to be first, so you could carry a blessing that others could stand on. And whether anyone has ever honored you or not, He has seen every unseen effort, and He intends to reward you. You were not born first to suffer. You were born first to set a standard. Part 1. The firstborn daughter carries a royal assignment. Being the firstborn daughter is not a title. It is a throne. And most thrones don't look like gold. They look like responsibility. They look like patience. They look like holding the family together when everyone else gets to fall apart. In the Bible, the firstborn receives the birthright, not because they are better, but because they are entrusted. They are given double inheritance, not to spoil them, but to equip them. The firstborn receives more strength, because she will need more strength. She is given deeper insight, because she will face deeper battles. She carries more grace, because she is called to carry more people. That is why your personality is different. Your sensitivity is different. Your maturity is different. You feel what others ignore. You anticipate what others forget. You carry what others drop. You are not bossy, controlling, too serious, or too independent. You are prepared, and preparation always feels heavy before it feels holy. God does not wait for you to grow up to train you. He trains you through what you grew up with. He shapes your voice through responsibility. He builds your discernment through observation. He strengthens your heart through sacrifice. He expands your capacity through what you were forced to navigate. While your siblings were experiencing childhood, you were experiencing leadership. While others were allowed to complain, you were expected to solve. While others were told what to do, you were trusted to figure it out. That is not favoritism. That is formation. God wasn't making your life harder. He was making your life larger. A firstborn daughter is not early by accident. She is early because she will go first in strength, in healing, in growth, in maturity, and in breaking generational patterns. She is the one who steps into the unknown, so others can walk behind her with ease. She fights battles that younger ones will never have to see. She pays prices that future children will never have to pay. Because when God chooses someone first, He chooses them to change what comes after. Part 2. She feels responsibility before she feels childhood. Some daughters grow up playing, but firstborn daughters grow up planning. Some children worry about toys, but you worried about people. You noticed moods. You monitored problems. You sensed tension. You tried to protect what you didn't even understand yet. You carried responsibility before you were old enough to speak the word responsibility. While others got to be heard, you were expected to behave. While others made mistakes freely, you were held accountable quickly. You learned early that your actions had consequences, not just for you, but for everyone. You learned that if you failed, someone else would suffer. So instead of freedom, you learned caution. Instead of dependency, you learned independence. Instead of waiting for someone to help, you became the help. You didn't choose maturity. Maturity chose you, and it came disguised as early expectations, unspoken pressure, and the assumption that you would figure it out. You didn't become strong because it was easy. You became strong because there was no other option. You became wise because life didn't allow foolishness. You became dependable because someone needed you to be. But hear this, God saw how early you had to carry things. God saw the tears you swallowed because there wasn't room for weakness. God saw every time you wanted to be taken care of, but instead you had to take care of someone else. That wasn't neglect. It was training. That wasn't abandonment. It was assignment. God does not send warriors to boot camp in adulthood. He trains them in childhood. He builds queens before they ever understand crowns. He molds leaders long before they stand on platforms. He develops backbone before he gives influence. He gives weight early so that one day you will wear glory easily. Yes, you were denied pieces of childhood, but you were given the tools needed for destiny. You weren't robbed. You were equipped. You weren't overlooked. You were prepared. What felt unfair then is what will make you unstoppable later. You were not raised quickly because you were disposable. You were raised quickly because you are essential. Part 3. She becomes the anchor in family storms. Have you noticed how people turn to you when chaos hits? How suddenly your voice matters when everything is falling apart? It's funny. People may ignore your feelings, but they trust your judgment. They may not honor your effort, but they lean on your stability. When crisis comes, they look for your calm. They depend on your strength. They assume you'll know what to do, even if you're breaking inside. This is not coincidence. This is calling. God gives firstborn daughters a unique ability to stand firm when everyone else trembles. That's why you see things clearly while others panic. That's why you can solve problems under pressure. That's why you hold peace even when you don't feel it. You don't just survive storms, you stabilize them. Some battles you didn't fight with words, you fought with presence. Just being there changed the atmosphere. You are the one who brings structure. You are the one who calms aggression. You are the one who keeps the family from falling apart, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. You are a shelter before you even realize you are one. But being an anchor doesn't mean you feel nothing. Anchors hold ships steady in storms, but they are still hit by waves. They are still under strain. Yet they stay because their purpose is greater than their comfort. God has given you a spiritual gift that many don't recognize. You carry peace, not because your life has been peaceful, but because your strength has been forged in pain. You learned calm the way soldiers learn discipline, through battle. When others collapse emotionally, you remain level-headed. When others break down, you hold things up. When others run away, you step in. You weren't taught this, you were built for it. And here's the truth. God does not use a person as a shelter without eventually becoming their shelter. If you have protected others, God Himself will protect you. If you have held others up, God Himself will hold you up. If you have carried burdens no one understood, God Himself will reward you openly. You are not the anchor by accident. You are the anchor by anointing. Part 4. Her strength is misread as she doesn't need help. Firstborn daughters don't just carry responsibility. They carry misunderstanding. Because they are strong, people assume they don't struggle. Because they are capable, people assume they don't need support. Because they've learned to endure silently, people assume they don't feel pain deeply. And so the world develops a dangerous habit. It takes from them, while forgetting to pour back into them. You're the one people go to when they need wisdom. You're the one they rely on to solve problems. You're the one expected to stay composed, be the example, and do the right thing, no matter how tired you are. People assume you're invincible, but the truth is, you just don't have the freedom to show weakness. You don't cry loudly, not because you don't hurt, but because you don't want your collapse to collapse others. You don't ask for help, not because you don't need it, but because you've learned that most people can't handle what you carry. You have learned to pray through what you cannot say. You have learned to endure what others cannot notice. You have learned to comfort yourself because you are too familiar with being the comforter. So your strength becomes a mask, not because you want it to be, but because life trained you to hide the weight, so others can stand. Meanwhile, they look at your composure and assume you're fine. They look at your silence and assume you're strong. They look at your reliability and assume you don't need encouragement. But God knows, God sees, God hears what you don't speak. He hears the tired prayers. He sees the quiet tears. He watches the sacrifices no one notices. And here is his message to your soul. Your strength is not your source. I am. The reason you haven't broken under pressure is not because you are fearless. It's because he has been holding you together. The reason you've survived emotional exhaustion is not because you're independent. It's because his hand has been on you. The reason your heart can love again after being drained is not because you're tough. It's because he keeps refilling what others keep drawing from. People may think you don't need help. God knows you've needed him every step of the way, and he has never failed you. Part 5. She breaks generational patterns without applause. Firstborn daughters are not just given responsibility. They are given assignment. They are chosen to confront what others avoid. They are the ones who say, "This cycle stops with me," even if they say it silently, even if it costs them relationships, even if it costs them misunderstanding. You are the one who notices generational pain. You are the one who questions toxic traditions. You are the one who refuses to repeat the dysfunction others normalized. You carry a burden that is not just personal, it is prophetic. God places conviction in you early because he intends to use you as a breaker of patterns. Not everyone can handle that kind of calling. Some people maintain the family's flaws out of comfort, but you, God wired you differently. You can't tolerate what damages the soul. You can't ignore what impacts the future. You can't pretend things are fine when you know they're not. So you confront silence. You confront emotional absence. You confront addiction. You confront financial irresponsibility. You confront unhealthy relationships. You confront spiritual shallowness. You confront what others learn to survive, but never learn to heal. And here's the painful part. You won't be celebrated for it, at least not at first. People resist the one who brings change, even if the change is needed. You may be labeled rebellious, dramatic, too direct or ungrateful, but the truth is, you are obedient, not rebellious. You are courageous, not dramatic. You are chosen, not ungrateful. The family may only recognize your value after the fruit of your obedience shows up in the next generation. After children grow up healthier, after peace becomes normal, after respect becomes standard, after communication becomes healing instead of harmful, after spiritual life becomes real, not routine. You are not fighting for yourself. You are fighting for those who come after you. You are the one breaking chains you didn't create. You are the one healing wounds you didn't cause. You are the one standing against darkness that no one warned you about. That is why God gave you the bravery others didn't have. That is why he gave you a voice others don't use. That is why he made your spirit unshakable. You are not difficult. You are chosen to make it different. Part 6. She carries wisdom beyond her age. One of the mysteries about firstborn daughters is how they seem older than they really are. Even as a child, you knew too much. You could sense when something was wrong before anyone explained it. You picked up on emotions before you knew how to describe them. You understood people's intentions without being taught. Wisdom didn't come to you through time, it came through assignment. God gives firstborn daughters a spiritual awareness that others don't develop until later in life, if ever. While others learn by experience, you learned by observation. You watched mistakes and chose differently. You saw patterns and learned from them. You studied behavior and recognized what it produces. You didn't need a teacher. Life was your teacher, and God was your interpreter. You can read faces. You can read tone. You can read silence. You can read spiritual atmospheres. You can walk into a room and instantly feel if something is wrong. People think you're being dramatic, overthinking, or too sensitive. But what they call sensitivity, God calls discernment. You see below the surface because your calling forces you to. You weren't given wisdom for pride. You were given wisdom for protection. To protect your family, to protect your future, to protect your heart, to protect the next generation. Wisdom is not a personality trait. It is an armor God placed on you early. You know when someone is manipulating. You know when someone is lying. You know when someone is unsafe. You know when someone is sincere. Not because you're suspicious, but because God made you watchful. Not because you're controlling, but because God made you guarding. Not because you're judgmental, but because God made you discerning. People often misunderstand wise women because they cannot fool them. That is why the enemy fights a firstborn daughter's mind so intensely. If he can't deceive her, he will try to discourage her. If he can't silence her voice, he will try to break her heart. If he can't blind her, he will try to burden her. Because he knows a wise woman becomes a powerful woman. But here is the truth. God never gives wisdom without purpose. And the wisdom you carry is not just for today. It is for every generation that comes after you. What you see now will protect who they become later. What you refuse now will bless what they inherit later. You are not too wise for your age. You are exactly as wise as your calling requires. Part 7. She loves deeply but trusts slowly. Firstborn daughters love like warriors, but protect themselves like gatekeepers. They are loyal to a fault, but cautious to the core. They don't rush into love. They don't give their heart easily. They don't trust quickly, not because they are cold, but because they know the cost of giving love to someone who doesn't know what to do with it. You've seen what careless love does. You watched others give their hearts recklessly and pay for it painfully. You've been the one who cleaned up emotional messes, supported broken people, and helped rebuild lives others damaged. So now you don't want excitement. You want consistency. You don't want attention. You want intention. People sometimes mistake your guarded heart as disinterest or pride. They think you're too picky, too strong, or too hard to love. But the truth is, you are not looking for perfection. You are looking for safety. You won't trust someone who brings chaos into your peace. You won't build a life with someone who drains what God has called you to protect. You won't open up to someone who doesn't know how to hold what you've built. Your love requires maturity. Your heart requires responsibility. Your commitment requires sacrifice. And you will love fiercely when you finally find someone who can handle the weight of who you are. You are not looking for someone to complete you. You are looking for someone strong enough to stand beside you. A partner, not a project. A leader, not a dependent. A protector, not a destroyer. Someone who doesn't compete with you but complements you. Here's the deep truth. Your guarded heart is not a wall, it is a gate. You are not blocking love, you are filtering it. You are not refusing connection, you are choosing wisely. Why you are not afraid of being alone. You are afraid of being with the wrong person who damages your calling. When the right person comes, you won't have to fight to be understood, respected, safe, supported, or valued. Your heart will recognize alignment. Your spirit will recognize peace. Because God will not allow you to pour your love into someone who cannot steward it. You don't trust slowly because you are afraid to love. You trust slowly because you love too deeply to waste it. Part 8. When the firstborn daughter finally receives rest. There comes a season when God does something shocking in the life of a firstborn daughter. He gives her rest. Not the kind of rest where life pauses for a moment, but the kind where God stops allowing her to carry what isn't hers anymore. The weight that once shaped her becomes the weight God removes from her. This shift can feel strange at first. You're so used to being needed that peace feels unfamiliar. You're so used to fixing things that being protected feels uncomfortable. You're so used to carrying responsibility that God's rest feels like weakness, until you realize it is reward. There comes a time when God says, "You led long enough. Now let me lead you. You fought long enough. You survived long enough. You proved yourself long enough. You've been faithful with battles. Now God makes you faithful with blessings." The seasons you carried the family's pain give birth to seasons where you carry peace for yourself. The childhood you didn't fully experience becomes the adulthood of joy you will finally embrace. The relationships you had to nurture become the relationships that nurture you. The emotional labor you poured out becomes the emotional support that finds you. You won't always be the rescuer. God will send rescuers to you. Rest doesn't mean you stop being strong. It means you stop being exhausted. Rest doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what only God can heal. Rest doesn't mean you stop giving. It means God sends people who give back. This is what God does for firstborn daughters. He gives them what they gave to others. He sends the support they never had. He surrounds them with the safety they once provided. Your peace will not be accidental. Your joy will not be fragile. Your future will not resemble your battles. Your calling prepared you, but it will not imprison you. God will not let your life be defined by survival. You will not be remembered for struggle. You will be remembered for strength, legacy, and spiritual breakthrough. The day will come when you will look back and realize of all the things you carried, God carried you the most. And this time you won't have to earn rest. You will inherit it. Conclusion: the crown she never asked for, the calling she was built for. You weren't chosen to be first so you could feel pressure. You were chosen to be first so you could carry purpose. God didn't make you the firstborn daughter to make you struggle. He made you the firstborn because you were the only one who could survive. What would shape you? You didn't become strong by choice. You became strong because God placed a crown on you before anyone ever put honor on you. You never asked to lead early. You never asked to care deeply. You never asked to grow up faster than anyone else. Yet God trusted you with more, because He planted more inside you. He saw your tears when no one noticed your effort. He heard your prayers when no one listened to your feelings. He strengthened your heart while no one even realized it was breaking. You were never strong because you wanted to be. You were strong because God needed someone in your family who wouldn't break. Someone who would stop the cycles. Someone who would pay the price so others wouldn't have to. Someone who would be the first to walk in wisdom, healing, and spiritual maturity. And now, hear this clearly. God will not let you carry forever what you carried first. There will be a season when the weight you carried becomes the blessing you inherit. The responsibility you held becomes the peace you receive. The battles you fought become victories the next generation will enjoy. Your calling won't always feel heavy. One day, it will feel honored. One day, you will see that your obedience saved your family. One day, you will watch others walk freely because you refused to repeat what hurt you. That will be your reward. That will be your legacy. You were not just born first, you were trusted first, and heaven has never overlooked you. The world may never fully understand the weight you carried, but God has already crowned you for it. Not with a crown of comfort, but with a crown of calling. You are the daughter who stood, who fought, who sacrificed, who prayed, and God calls you chosen, appointed, and anointed. You didn't ask for the crown, but you were built to wear it.